Our next speaker, I saw him, there he comes. Paul Herndon. When it comes to the rubber meets the road, Paul stepped up, and I know he's got some, I think 3 liberty-minded attorneys he's working with, it was interesting. I didn't understand some of the things that you were talking about, or why you were saying that the mandate was illegal, but he's going to give us a few reasons why, and so he's got a lawsuit going, and we really want to get behind him and support him in that.
So my name is Paul Herndon, and I'm a raw milk dairy farmer here in North Idaho. In fact, we have the only grade A dairy in Kootenai or Bonner counties. And it's a family-run business, and we've been dairy farmers since 2009 or something like that, and then we got our first cow in 2011. And the reason we are dairy farmers and the reason we're raw milk dairy farmers is because we believe that people should have a choice about what type of food they eat, because food is health. And so I never even considered producing the natural swill that you buy at the store. But, by the way, our milk is available in a lot of retail stores here in Kootenai County, and we're very thankful for that. And a lot of people buy our milk in Kootenai County. And we have 2 delivery days that we do down here. We're up in Bonner County. And so we've seen as the lockdown has progressed, and then we've seen, I don't know if you realize, but the state of emergency in the state of Idaho started, I think it was on March 13th. Today is August 4th. We're almost 5 months into it. Now remember, when the governor first sold this and foisted this on us, it was only supposed to be 30 days of state of emergency, and here we are heading toward our 6th month. Anyway, so we've seen as things have been evolving and changing in Idaho, and especially in Kootenai County, to now. By the way, I'm on permanent isolation and quarantine because I'm a dairy farmer. I hardly ever get out. In fact, I didn't notice the difference, and I wasn't doing deliveries at the time, so I didn't even see how it was affecting people down here. But now when you go deliver to the grocery store, which I do, all of the stores that we deliver to except one, and I'm not going to name names, they are requiring their employees to mask, and they're not giving them a choice. And grocery store jobs are hard jobs. They're very physical. I can't imagine if I had to go about my day milking cows or going out and farming and having to put a face muzzle on, not even being able to breathe. I'm sure we've all been out there where you've seen the people who are wearing a mask. They go to suck in air, and you see the mask suck in because of the pressure differential. So they're not getting enough oxygen, and then when they breathe out, you can see it blow out, so they're not fully exhaling their carbon dioxide. And then, the minute you walk in unmasked, you see them actually, that is me as a delivery driver, they actually feel relieved that, oh, one of my vendors is here unmasked, so I'll go ahead and drop my mask so that I can talk to him so that he can actually hear me. Because God designed the human face to be a very vital part of how we communicate with each other. I don't appeal to constitutional rights because these rights have always been with us since man was created by God. They're natural, God-given rights. Now, I should also say that we homeschool our children and always have. I think before we had kids, we might have considered sending them to school, but pretty much the minute you got that kid in front of you, you realize this kid is my responsibility to parent, and no one's going to tell me exactly what they need to do. Like, for example, when all the kids go back to public school this fall, or if you're going to go to North Idaho College, you're going to be required to mask up, and there are no exceptions. The story in the paper today said that as far as that mask requirement at North Idaho College, they are going to invite you to put on a mask. That was the word he uses, the president of North Idaho College. They're going to invite you. Well, I guess when you show up and you've been invited, you can decline the invitation, but go ahead and go on campus and go to your class, right? But that's probably not the way it's going to work. So all that said, just me being a guy up there on my farm in Bonner County, even I can recognize that this is kind of a serious issue and that people should be able to make a choice for themselves. I don't denounce those who choose to wear a mask. If you've done the research and you feel like it's good for you and it'll protect you and your family, great, go ahead and do it. But don't tell me how to think and make decisions for my own kids and my own family. That's called health freedom, and we all have it. Okay, so I think the reason I was invited here tonight, though, is because I and a couple of other liberty-minded small business owners in North Idaho, we all realized, even when the lockdown was starting to happen, that we've got a serious problem. And it's not just going to be masking, it's going to be whatever comes next month, and the month after that, and the month after that. And so, because as business owners, we care about our communities, we care about our customers, we care about the people who work for businesses that we do business with, it was instinctive that I have to do something. Now, by the way, has anyone read the mask mandate? Have you actually read the order from Panhandle Health? Do you realize that right now we're not violating it? It's so poorly worded that it says that we're to wear face coverings where social distancing of 6 feet cannot be maintained. But right here we can maintain it. We could all choose to back up and it can be maintained. Now if we all try to go get in an elevator together, we might be in violation. So this is why you don't want health boards writing laws and making us obey them. Because clearly, I'm going to tell you where they got that, by the way. I don't think they have an entirely sharp attorney, number one. And everybody in the business of law, and if my lawyers are here, this is not an insult to you, they're good. But everybody in the business of law is going to borrow from the work of others. And this mask mandate has very similar language to what's in place in Moscow, Idaho, to what's in place in the other health districts in Idaho, and in fact, very similar language to what's in place in other states. And so some last of the class lawyer first wrote this thing, and now it's being propagated out across the country, and it's got holes so big you can drive multiple trains through it. So it's not good law. This is why we have legislatures who write law, and then they're directly answerable to the people. So it can be challenged on a number of fronts. One is just procedural, because how many people actually watched the board meeting that day? Or how many people tried to watch the board meeting, but you couldn't get in, or you couldn't get on Zoom? Okay, well, right there they were violating Idaho's statute. And it's called the Open Meeting Statute, and I won't go into that, but you have to allow the public to attend. Now, by the way, the governor issued certain proclamations on March 13th where he set aside a lot of statute that protects us. And I won't go into which ones he set aside, but there are a lot of protections out there for us as Idahoans that the governor just basically proclaimed those no longer apply. Well, I've got this state of emergency that's now almost 5 to 6 months long. So We have filed a lawsuit, I and Angelo Brunson of Angelo's Ristorante, and Dan Schnatter of NYC Piano Bar. Did I get that right? The name of it? And our lawyers are Colton Boyles, a very liberty-minded attorney who lives up near our farm in Bonner County. And he's being assisted by Nathan McPherson and Scott McPherson, two great liberty-minded lawyers. That lawsuit was filed in Kootenai Magistrate Court on Friday, and today it got assigned a case number. And so tomorrow the Panhandle Health Board will be served. Two of the defendants in that suit were here tonight on the same stage with me. Only in their official capacity, they voted correctly, and if you heard what they said in that meeting, they basically said the same thing they did tonight. Lawsuits are very expensive, and we're basically fighting a government entity that we would assume has unlimited funds, and there are funds, or else they're funds that they've been given by the federal government, which, as we all know, are made-up funds. And so to file this suit, we have actually received a lot of donations from the community. Last count, we have over, I think it's between 180 and 200 donations, and we've raised just about $25,000. Which, depending on how the case goes, that's just the start. What we're going to need to do eventually, as we challenge the substantive part of the mask mandates so that we can hopefully help the whole state, is we have to challenge the science, and we have to challenge the legal aspect of mask mandates, and that requires expert witnesses. You would be amazed. I'm a very busy guy, but I'm getting called every day by doctors who want to help, by concerned citizens who want to help, by nurses who want to help. We have people driving to our farm and handing us cash, like someone just handed me cash. So Angelo and Dan, as co-plaintiffs, have agreed with me that on the central point where all that money is going to funnel in, I'll provide a full accounting of it, and it's then getting paid to the lawyers and what we call expert witnesses, which are going to be doctors that we're going to be able to depose and testify and write reports on our behalf to hopefully do away with the mask mandates forever. Now, a lot of people in a legal case are going to wonder, well, what's the timeline on that? Hopefully fairly quickly in the first part of this, we're only challenging a procedural issue, and it will, if we are victorious on it, if we get a right ruling in the Kootenai Magistrate Court, it will declare the mask mandate null and void. Then the health district will have a choice, right? They'll have their original order declared null and void, and then they can obviously choose to have another meeting and try to go get another mask mandate. This is where it's important as citizens of Idaho that we pay attention to what they do and that we try to show up at those meetings and try to show up on Zoom. Because if they have it on Zoom, Zoom has a limit under their licensing that they're using right now for only 500 people. If we have 502 try to show up and you get shut out, that's a violation of open meeting statute in Idaho. So anyway, we thank you for your support, and we thank you that everybody has been able to coalesce in this single instance. I guarantee you we have the best lawyers for this. And I'm going to make sure we drive them and make sure we get this done successfully. And if you are motivated to contribute, by the way, I almost thought it was a joke, but then I'm like, well, that's good. Someone contributed $1 through PayPal. I got an email, and I open it up and I'm like, oh, someone gave $1. That's great. Because anything that you can give to help is helpful. So our website for the fundraiser is wonderwe.com/mask mandate. If you can't remember that, Google North Idaho raw milk. You will find our website, pleasantmeadowcreamery.com, and right off of that first page, I have a link to take you to our blog, which will then take you to the fundraiser site. I also have information there that if you want to mail us a contribution, please do. If you want to mail a check, make it out to Pleasant Meadow Creamery and send it to the address that is so easy to find. We're very easy to find. If you have any questions, you can email me, you can call me. Just remember, I'm a dairy farmer, so try not to take too much of my time, but I will try to accommodate everyone here. And the goal is to get rid of the mask mandate so that we can begin to set the foundation for restoring the liberty that's being stolen from us.